Welcome back. You're with Rachael Pickworth from Mad Leaders, and following on from the previous video, in this video I want to share with you exactly what I discussed with the organisational development team of an organisation where I've provided coaching for many years, and they wanted to understand why I was getting referred across the business and why were the leaders I was working with getting great results. So in a nutshell, what I shared with them was this. As an external coach coming into an organisation, I have a unique perspective because I'm having unique conversations in a confidential environment. So I get to hear the unfiltered and very raw challenges that leaders face that get in the way of their effectiveness. And after working with many leaders at many organisations over many years, what I discovered was that although leaders want to do a good job and they want to make a difference and they want to achieve results and they want to engage their people, they don't feel set up to do that well because although they want to do all of that, they don't know how to perform much of the leadership and management fundamentals that are required of them day to day. And as a result, they find themselves stuck in a reactive juggling situation. Because let's face it, as a leader today, you have to be a juggler. You have to be able to manage a lot in the business. You need a strategic view. You need to have an eye on the detail. You need to manage stakeholders. You need to manage up. You need to manage your team. You need to go to meeting after meeting after meeting and action things from those meetings. And then you have relentless email. And they're just a few things. So leaders generally are stretched. And when you add to that a lack of know-how, you can have many leaders across a business who are struggling, where they're scattered, where they're chasing their tail and they're lacking structure, where they're operational rather than strategic, where they run ad hoc meetings and then actions or ideas aren't actioned from that and there's little accountability. So we can have leaders who know they need help, who are struggling and know they need help, but they don't know where to begin. And the sad truth is that they've never been shown how to operate day to day as a leader, so they struggle to manage and lead effectively. So you have leaders who want to connect their team to the strategic vision and objectives of the business and then translate those into a clear delivery plan to get people's buy-in, but they don't know how. And they want to be running key quarterly, monthly, and weekly meetings to increase productivity and engagement, but they don't know how. And they want to be running effective, powerful one-to-ones with their team members to address things like well-being and goals and development and feedback for growth, but they don't know how. And there's so much more. I'm just giving you a handful of things that leaders need to be doing, but they're often not doing. And the thing is, if they don't know how to do these things, they often don't get done at all because they don't want to get it wrong. And when they're busy and reactive, it's easy to put off this critical activity. And here's the problem. There's a very real cost when there's a lack of leadership and management fundamentals, especially when it's at scale across a business, and the impact compounds on itself. And although it's hard to measure the cost, it ripples across teamwork, culture, delivery, results, turnover, achievement, not to mention the talent that's being wasted or even lost when people and the talent isn't being harnessed or developed. So when I discovered the leaders I was working with didn't know how to perform much of the leadership and management activity required, I showed them how. In addition to my coaching, I was also providing education and tools and systems and templates. And also I provided an informal self-driven 360-degree feedback process. And these things supported these leaders to go from reactive, operational, lacking confidence on the hamster wheel to being strategic and planned and focused and proactive. And they were really set up for success. And so This is why I was being referred across the business, and the people I was working with were getting great results, and ultimately led to me creating the Elevate in 90 Days program to address these gaps. Now, there's one really important point I want to make that, and forgive me if I get on my high horse with this one, it's that there is one group that I see is struggling the most, and that is the often neglected team leader and manager levels in an organization. What I see is that often investment is made in terms of development with the top tiers of the leaders in the business. And so we have the team leaders and managers in the business who are least experienced, least skilled, who are leading the bulk of the workforce and delivery. So it's kind of upside down. So you have these technically skilled people who are promoted into leadership roles who are not really given the tools or the know-how to deliver. If they're lucky, they're sent off to an introductory leadership and management program where they explore things like situational leadership and emotional intelligence, but it doesn't quite connect or land because they don't know how to apply that learning. It's not relevant, so they don't build the skills and confidence that they need. And then to add fuel to the fire, over recent years, there's been so much emphasis on leadership skill development that management skill development is being neglected. And I share this story with you because this organization in my story is not alone. In fact, I noticed that most organizations are struggling to really develop team leaders and managers, provide them with those core skills they need to lead and manage effectively. From my experience, like with this organization, the bulk of managers and team leaders are not set up for success. In fact, they're set up for failure because they're largely left to their own devices to work it out on their own, to sink or swim, or to follow the lead of their manager who was developed in the same way as was their manager. So you have these people who are not achieving the best and leading the best, who aren't able to engage the hearts and minds of their people to achieve greater results. So you don't have a workforce that's engaged, and you're not building the leadership capacity in the business for the future. So after I shared all of this information with this organizational development team, I went on to develop the Elevate in 90 Days program for that organization. The gold nuggets that I knew worked with my clients to shift the dial for them, and packaged it into a hands-on, zero fluff program that set team leaders and managers up for success. And I designed the program that I would want to participate in, with short and punchy and super practical training for time poor people, rich with tools and examples and stories and structure and templates. And what's really interesting is that although this program is developed for team leaders and managers, one of my clients, a general manager in the health sector, 55 years old, with 100 people in his team, has been managing for a long time. When he went through this program alongside our one-to-one coaching program, he said to me, "Why was I never taught these skills, these tools?" And he's applied all of that learning to uplift his leadership effectiveness and introduced them to his team leaders and managers in his area to uplift the capability in that team. So in the next and final video, I'm going to pull back the curtain and take you behind the scenes into the program, the content, and the power of the program. Why is this so powerful for the participants, for the managers of participants, and also for the wider organisation? And we'll also explore which is the best option, the public program that's run 4 times a year, or the customised program, which can include a welcome video from a senior leader in your business, your leadership capabilities, and other bits and pieces where we integrate the program into the organisation. We have weekly reports on progress, etc. So lots of great information in the next video, and I'll see you there. Bye.